Abuse is a hidden scar on all societies. The United Nations has calculated that domestic abuse affects 1 in 3 women worldwide, and that it's the commonest cause of female homicide worldwide outside conflict zones.
Ruth is a pseudonym, and we've used a voiceover to ensure her continued protection from being hounded by her ex-husband.
What was the role of the church in what was going on in your life at this point in time?
I think they tried to a degree, but it was worse than useless as far as I was concerned. It made things worse apart from the counsellor, who was excellent. It made things worse for me, but so utterly failed me.
Jesus calls us as his disciples to walk in love as he loved us. And he asks his church to support and care for the oppressed and the downtrodden. So with the words of Jesus ringing in our ears, you'd expect that places of worship would be a safe haven. But the tragedy is that too often they're not.
Did it utterly fail him as well? Or?
Nope, it didn't. Really, it didn't. What happened was, as things got worse, I was trying to find solutions and so on and so forth. I spoke to the pastor and we had a meeting, and it was like, with these elders who basically told me that we've both been living on our own for too long and we both wanted our own way. And so I thought, well, there's some truth in that, but that doesn't excuse the bullying and the things that he did.
At Restored, our work has shown that 1 in 4 church-going Christian women experience abuse from their partners, and that over 50% of the abusers are themselves churchgoers. In other words, Christian men are abusing their Christian partners within the church.
I was at this point still trying to protect him somewhat and not humiliate him with the facts. Just that I just said we were arguing, I don't know, a few things, but not all of it. And later on, as it got worse, I wrote a much more honest letter to the pastor explaining why I wasn't going to be coming to church anymore.
When abused women report their abuse, the response of church leaders is mixed. Some are caring and helpful, but others are downright dangerous and will side with the abuser or blame the abused and prolong the abuse.
I know also that the pastor had direct feedback from the counsellor, who told the pastor directly that he was a dangerous man. The pastor was told that by the counsellor that he recommended.
So the pastor had recommended the counsellor.
Yes.
The counsellor told the pastor that this man was dangerous. And what was the pastor's reaction?
Well, I was so gutted by this. The pastor's reaction was to treat it so much like a squabble of some type.
However, most church leaders simply appear to be out of their depth and don't know what to do. Restored wants to help address that lack of understanding and can help your church address and combat abuse and become a place of safety and support.
And he was like, such a figurehead and so passionate and full of zeal to evangelize. And yes, he was. But oh my goodness me, what he was like otherwise behind closed doors was very different.
This document is Restored's church pack, and it'll get you started. It's available in several languages and can be found on our website, restoredrelationships.org. Just search for church pack. Alternatively, we could offer your church face-to-face training. Contact us by email at info@restoredrelationships.org.
And I felt sick to my stomach because instead of this being seriously assessed, all that happened was, in full knowledge of the facts now, the pastor simply said that my ex-husband should take a year out and then recommended him to go the following year.
At Restored, we also offer women the resources to help get them free of abuse. we've produced this practical handbook for victims and their helpers. And we can send it to you for free if you've experienced abuse.
Truly a sobering snapshot of people who should be protecting someone, but didn't. I love God's church and am happily part of a functioning fellowship, but many churches are ill-equipped to deal with situations like Ruth and her abusive marriage. When the professional counselor alerted them to the dangers of her violent ex-husband, they didn't ensure her safety. On another note, next week we'll be talking about the concept of freedom in marriage. Are you free? God bless and bye for now.